I'm Aveline and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day. So today we are building another Victorian house, and this one is also built in StrangerVille. Of course it is. I'm kind of slightly obsessed with this new world. I'm not gonna lie, I think it is absolutely beautiful, especially this area of the world. So Shady Acres, I just love it. But anyways, today we are building this small Victorian house on top of a hill. I do want to give a major shout out to Bear Sims, by the way, because her build, what was it, like a single mom Victorian, kind of inspired this idea. So huge shout out to Bear Sims. I'll link her channel in the description down below. She's an amazing builder. But yeah, hopefully you guys will like this. This was supposed to be a tiny house, but I don't know if it's like, for me, it's still somewhat a tiny house, but it's right on the edge of not being a tiny house, if you get what I mean. Like it's a little bit too big to be a tiny house, but for me, because I am used to building really big houses, it's kind of still a tiny house. Does that make any sense? I don't know. Anyways, I had so much fun with this landscaping, by the way. It's been a while since I've played around with terrain tools, as you may have noticed. I just feel like sometimes it looks a little bit out of place on lots, especially if you're building on smaller lots, because to me it's important that the terrain kind of matches the surrounding area, so the surrounding terrain, and especially if you're building in, like, let's say Willow Creek, where everything is flat, it just kind of looks a little bit out of place. Suddenly you have this 30 by 20 where there's a hill on it. I don't know. Hopefully it makes sense, but since this lot is already on a hill, I figured we would just kind of continue that hill a little bit, and then I decided to place this little tiny, not so tiny Victorian house on top of it. So yeah, I had a lot of fun with this. So this house is built on a 40 by 30 and it's in StrangerVille, Shady Acres, like I said before. It's actually the lot that the Roswells live on, so I'm not entirely sure that this house is going to be in my save file, because I still want to build a house for the Roswells so they can be in my save file, you know. There are some of the townies that I still want to make an appearance, basically, so there's some of them because they're new and exciting, so I want to do something for them. But if you want this house to be in the save file, I'll just move the Roswells to one of the other lots. That'll be completely fine, and I can build a fitting house for them, because they're just two people anyway, so why would they need to live on a 40 by 30? Actually, their house is so weird. I have heard, or I've seen some other people talk about, what was it, Romeo said that their house was decorated in a certain way because they were kind of running out of money or something. They were struggling financially or something like that, so that's why they got missing counters in their house. Their house is a little bit empty too. They have a very mysterious basement. So yeah, there's something weird going on with their house, but I definitely want to build them a new one that's maybe a little bit more suited towards them, or suited for them, because they do have a lot of bedrooms in their house, which is weird considering they have no kids and they only live two Sims in that house. I don't know, it's just, their house is so strange for them. Anyways, so yeah, they're still gonna make an appearance in my save file. I'll probably just move them to another lot in this area if you still want, or if you do want this little tiny house in the save file. So yeah, so this house is for two parents and also a kid, but you can definitely change the kid's bedroom into a teen's bedroom if you want to. I think that there is one toy in there and also a toy box, and that's about it. There's not really any toys like around the rest of the house, so if the kid in this house, if you do decide to play in it with the kid in this house, you may have to add just a few toys here and there. And also the floor plan on the second floor is a little bit weird, but that's to be expected with houses with weird shapes, like the turret here on the right side. There's 3 balconies overall as well on the second floor, which is really difficult to do floor planning for, by the way. Just saying, at least for me it is. So there's the big balcony here at the front. That's actually where the door to that balcony is, where the kids' bedroom is, and then the parents don't have a terrace, but there's a terrace door right next to their bedroom. And then there's another one at the back as well that I haven't added just yet, but I'll add in just a little bit. I actually added that because I thought it would be really nice to have the dining area kind of in this little area of the house with a lot of windows so they could look over nature while they're sitting down eating together. So I added this little half octagon at the back of the build, and then I put the dining area in there. So they have a pretty great view from the dining area. Also, the parents' bedroom actually turns out to be, or I end up putting it in the turret, which means that they have basically like a panorama view almost of the entire Shady Acres. They can't see behind the house, but they can see a lot, like a lot from their bedroom. So I figured that would be nice for them to have to or to wake up to that kind of view in the morning. That would be great. So I also changed from yellow and green to a more red, pink, and white exterior. I know that red and pink is kind of a no-go to some people, but I like the color combination. I think it works great. I think it's very cute. It kind of reminds me of like hearts or something. So I thought it would be fitting for this little house. I still want to do something that's yellow and green, which is actually another color combination that I'm a bit like about, but I like to decorate with it. Surprisingly, I do like to decorate with it, so definitely gotta do something with that color combination at some point. Then there's another color that I talked about in my trailer build earlier this week, which was, what was it? Because they added a few new colors to one of the base game sightings, and it's like a purple blue kind of color. I really like it. Like, I like it a lot, so I'm gonna have to do something with that at some point, possibly like a purple and white build or something like that. And then there's another one. I'm really inspired by a lot of the swatches of the windows, by the way, because they have so many different color combinations. There is a green and dark brown color combo that I want to do at some point, and also a white and light blue. So many different color combinations. I'm so excited to just use those windows over and over and over. And also the doors. I just really like those color combinations. You guys know I like to decorate with colors, so that's going to be happening a lot. I also got a few comments on, when was it? Either the trailer build or the apartment build yesterday, if I could do both a bright family home, so that will be happening. A little bit more toned down, not so many colors, but a little bit more beige white like, so that will be happening. Don't worry about that. And then I also got another one which was a hoarder trailer, which is already planned, so that is coming up at some point soon as well, which I'm looking very much forward to, because you guys know that I like to be messy with my clutter, so can't wait to go a little bit crazy. But yeah, so don't worry, we got other builds and just like crazy colorful builds coming up, so yeah. I will also say though that the interior in this house is not actually that colorful. I've gone for a lot of white and then a little bit of pink here and there, also a little bit of peach. I think the walls that I ended up going with were actually peach colored. I know peach and pink is a bit different, but I think it works in my game. At least with my reshade it works very well. So yeah, by the way, if you want my StrangerVille preset that I'm using in this video, it's linked in the description down below. I have two presets that I use when I build, because I found out that my usual preset is a little bit too saturated for StrangerVille. It turns everything very orange. So I decided to make one that's a little bit more toned down for StrangerVille. So if you're interested in that, it's linked in the description down below. But yeah, other than peach and pink, we're not using a lot of color for the interior. Maybe a little bit of light blue as well, but that's about it. So yeah, not the most colorful interior. It's very princess-like, if you know what I mean. Like, lots of white and lots of pink, kind of. It kind of reminds me of a princess, like a fairy tale kind of princess, or a Disney princess or something like that. So yeah, it's actually been a while since I have decorated with dark brown, which is what I usually do. It's kind of like my go-to. I like to decorate with dark browns because it's very cozy to me, but it's been a long time by now. I think when I did the Brindleton Mansion, I kind of, because I started out decorating with dark brown, and then I figured, no, this doesn't work for this kind of house, so I need to do something else. I need to do something different, just kind of like try something different from what I usually do. And I was having a moment where I was like, I always decorate it with dark brown, you're getting boring. And then since then I haven't decorated with dark brown, so I need to do something like that soon, something very cozy and warm and just kind of, yeah, just cozy, you know. Anyways, so that's probably happening sometime soon as well, but not in this house. As you can see, we're also going for a pink gate. The gate and the first fence that I use are from Get Famous, by the way, in case you were curious, and the other ones that I use and also the hedge is from base game. So I like to combine combine different fencing. I think it looks kind of cool. It gives a nice effect. And then over here I used a, what would you call that? A wishing well, yes. From Romantic Garden Stuff Pack. Yes, I put that here under the trees, so it's kind of hidden a little bit, but there's a path leading to it, and I thought that would be kind of cute, like a little wishing well is kind of hidden under these trees, because there's a lot of trees around the house, also to kind of try to cover up some of the kind of dirt-like terrain a little bit, because when you raise it, you can't avoid having this like light brown terrain paint on it, as you can see right now. You can't paint over it, so I was trying to hide it just a little bit with a lot of trees, and also because I thought it would look really nice if like the house was kind of sitting on top of all these trees. So yeah, I played around with that a little bit, but I think you can, because I haven't play tested it, but I think you can throw coins into that wishing well and then they'll give you something in return, or if you're unlucky, they'll do something else. I don't fully know, but I think it's that wishing well. Also, while I remember, I am sorry that I didn't show fully how I made this little balcony here, but that's because I accidentally pressed my stop recording button. So I got really mad at myself after that, unfortunately. But it was just made with 4 foundation pieces, and then I just placed it where I wanted the balcony to be, and then I just kind of covered it up a little bit with some foundation and like one of the other foundation choices, swatches, I guess, I don't know. And then also some plants and stuff. So yeah, I do like that little balcony detail right there. It's nice. They have a really nice view from there, which is why I put the easel on it as well, so they can stand out there and paint while looking over the nature, because the nature in Shady Acres is so beautiful. The view is just amazing, so of course I needed to take advantage of that a little bit. But anyways, I've also included the floor plan here. As you can see, I was struggling with it a little bit. The shape of the house is just kind of weird. Sometimes I think the best houses to do the floor plan in are kind of not rectangular houses, like fully squared houses, but when they have just a little bit of shape. As soon as you put in a turret, that makes it so much worse. And yeah, I had a lot of like round shapes to this house because I had, and also extra doors because I had, what is it? I have 3 doors to terraces on the 2nd floor, and then on the bottom floor I have the front door and also this side part here where I put a flower arrangement table and also a bench, and there's also a few pot plants or plant pots out there, whatever you want to call those. So extra doors make it a little bit more difficult to do floor plans, and overall I just had a lot going on with the shape of this house too, so it was a little bit difficult, and the floor plan did turn out a little bit weird, but the house itself is a little bit quirky as well and a little bit special, so I'm gonna use that as an excuse. So I think it fits the house itself, but it is definitely a bit on the weirder side, I am not gonna lie. But yeah, hopefully it is okay anyways. Also, I just want to say I'm really sorry if my microphone is picking up on a lot of breathing today. I think I changed the settings just a little bit and I feel like it's so much worse than it usually is. So I'm gonna have a look at it after doing this voiceover and see if I can improve on that a little bit. I mean, I am human, so I do breathe. There's only so much I can do, but I think it's a little bit worse today, but I just wanted to make sure that you guys know that I am gonna have a look at it afterwards, so yeah. But anyways, we are starting the furnishing part in just a little bit, and I'm kind of obsessed with this wallpaper these days. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I use it quite a lot in this specific swatch. I just really like it. It's kind of like a nice light grayish color. But we're not using that one today though. We're using another base game one, which I believe came in one of the free updates. It's the same kind of wallpaper with the palm leaves swatches as well. I used one of those in the apartment build I did yesterday, and I really like that wallpaper. It's very clean without the palm leaves on it. It's very nice and just clean, so I definitely gotta use that a little bit more. But we end up using it in this color that's white and sort of peachy, maybe a little bit beige. It's kind of like it's a weird color, but I think it works. I think it looks really nice. So you'll see that in just a little bit. It takes me a while to figure out what kind of wallpaper to go for though, because I was considering using one of the vampire game pack ones with a lot of pattern on it. I also tried one of the other ones for base game with a lot of pattern on it as well, but I don't know, it's a little bit too much. I'm not good with like patterned wallpaper when it's not palm leaves. Obviously, I'm not good with patterned wallpaper. You'll see that just a little bit. It kind of reminds me of like the wallpaper, kind of pattern wallpaper that I'm talking about. It kind of reminds me of a grandma or something, and sometimes I don't feel like it fits the house that well, so I'm really bad at using those kind of wallpapers, and I tend to stick to more solid ones, but I definitely gotta use them for something at some point, that's for sure. But we are, because I thought at this point, I was looking at it like, this is a little bit too white for me, I don't like it, I want to add just a little bit of color. So I went back and looked at the other wallpapers, and I ended up going for one that's a little bit more solid still, but it's colored. So I also tried to go for the fireplace we got with Vintage Glamour Stuff Pack, but it's a little bit too luxurious or glamorous for me, kind of. I wish it came with a white and silver swatch, because I definitely like silver a lot more than I like gold. I don't know, I have a thing with gold, it doesn't go well with me. I don't know what it is. Just a little bit too much for me. I can't make it work. So at some point I'll have to, I know, but as of right now I can't make it work. Plus I thought silver would fit the exterior a little bit better than gold as well, so I decided to go for this Space Game fireplace instead. But as you can see before, I was trying to make the Vintage Glamour one work, but it just wasn't. So yeah. Also, the rug that we're using here, which I believe is from City Living, it's one of my favorite rugs. We're gonna pretend like it's a faux fur rug, because no way I'm gonna put any real fur in my game. Anyways, just want to throw that out there. But I think the color of the rug kind of matches the wall a little bit, and this is the base game wallpaper that I was talking about before, by the way. I really like this color. It's kind of like a soft peach sort of color. Let me know what you would consider this kind of color to be, because I don't fully know, so let me know your opinions on that. And over here in the corner, they get an office area because there was no room in the floor plan to give them a dedicated office room, so I had to put it in the living room, which is also very tiny. Everything is just kind of cramped together a little bit. I also figured it would be perfect for this kind of house to have a grand piano, which is why I put it in the living room, so they have that in this little turret part of the house. And I don't know, I think it looks really nice when you have this kind of like round space and then there's a gigantic grand piano in the middle of it with a chandelier hanging on top of it or something, or not on top of it, but hanging down over it. I don't know, it just looks really nice in my opinion. I like the idea of that, so I decided to put it in this house because it is a little bit, you know, it's a little fancy, at the same time also a little bit quirky. But yeah, so they have that grand piano in the living room over there, and I did go a little bit clutter crazy with the office area, but hopefully it's still okay. The rest of the house is actually fairly neat, I would say, except from, I think the parents' bedroom is a little bit cluttered too, but other than that, the rest of the house is actually fairly neat for once, so yeah. Anyways, in here, in this very narrow, long room, I put the kitchen. They don't have a whole lot going on out here, but like you can see, we don't have a whole lot of space to work with either. Again, one of those things about this house, the floor plan is a little bit weird. But they do have everything they need out here. I think I even put in a tea brewer as well. Brewer? Yeah, brewer as well in here. I don't know, if I have to choose between a coffee maker and a tea brewer, I usually go for the tea, because I don't personally like coffee. I just don't like the taste of it. So I'm like, if there's a tea machine in my game, I want it and I'm gonna put it in my build. So yeah, you'll often see tea brewers in my builds rather than coffee makers. I know that brewer is a bit of an awkward word for me to pronounce, by the way. Just want to throw that out there. I realize. Anyways. And in here, like I was talking about earlier in the video, I think I did at least, I put this little half octagon here. And then I put the dining area in this little space because I thought it would be really nice with the windows so they could look over the back of the house, or not the back of the house, but like the view from the back of the house is pretty nice as well. There is a pond and there are the cliffs as well, so it just looks really nice. And I don't know, I like the idea of having a dining area with a really, really great view. As you've noticed in some of my other builds, maybe I tend to give the dining rooms pretty nice views. So yeah, this one is no exception. I really like I just really like the surroundings in Shady Acres, as I've probably said about 1,000,000 times by now, but I just really like it. So also, if you're still watching this late into the video, despite my very rambly voiceover today, do write, let's say Cherry Hills in the comment section down below. I'm kind of curious to see how many of you guys are still watching, despite, like I said, my very rambly voiceover today. I don't know, I think it'd be kind of cute, so yeah. Also, if the furnishing part of the build here on the second floor seems a little bit rehearsed, it's because it kinda is, but not intentionally, because unfortunately I did this part of the build yesterday, or I did the entire build yesterday, and then today when I was editing, I noticed that the whole furnishing part of the upper floor was gone, which is really unfortunate, so I had to kind of go back and delete everything and then redo it. So it still looks the same because I like how it turned out, but it's the second time I'm doing it, which is why it looks a little bit rehearsed. Like, I know where everything is going to be, so I'm not sitting here making choices that aren't gonna end up in the video, for example. I'm just kind of like placing down everything as they were before, unfortunately. So if it looks a little bit rehearsed, that is why, but usually I don't rehearse when I build. I think that's a little bit weird, I don't know, anyways. But yeah, the parents' bedroom were in there before. It was a little bit cluttered. I like that it's in the turret. Like I said before, they have a very nice view from the turret, so it would be great to wake up to that in the morning. And then there's also a chest table on the very small terrace. On the back side, actually I think I put the same items on the back terrace as I did on the front one, just because I think they fit the whole exterior very well, and both of the terraces are very narrow as well, so I didn't have a lot of space to work with either, so I just put a bench from Cats and Dogs on it, yeah, and then also 2 chairs from Cats and Dogs and a table from Base Game on both terraces, and then a few candles and plants and stuff. So yeah, very cutesy, very simple, and not a whole lot going on. I like how this bathroom turned out as well. I think it's kind of glamorous, it's very nice. I really love that mirror. I use it quite a lot as well. It's from Get Famous, but it's one of my favorites, so I have a hard time not using it. But anyways, we are getting to the end of this video now, so I'm gonna wrap up this voiceover. If you like this build, you can download it off the gallery. My ID is AvelineYT, and you can also find it under the hashtag Aveline or AvelineYT. As always, do let me know in the comment section down below if you got any suggestions for anything you want to see here on the channel, and I will write everything down in my planner. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to like and subscribe and all that good stuff if you did, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye!
Hurting each other's feelings. Maybe I'm just too tired to talk, and you don't wanna listen. It's better we leave it all behind. It hasn't always been like this. Remember when we were in love? You were always there for me, and we could talk for hours. I don't know what happened to us. Oh, 'cause we bring each other down right now, and I don't even know why. You know, I really think it's time we said goodbye. Baby, I'm too fed up with us. I can't take no more screaming, hurting each other's feelings. Baby, I'm just too tired to talk, and you don't wanna listen. It's better we leave it all behind. See me walking out the door,